To some, they're just a means of getting from point A to point B. But to others, they are a sacred religion. Rock and roll isn't Jimi Hendrix melting your face off. Rock and roll is the sound of a 642 horsepower engine revving so loudly that you can't even hear your eardrums popping. If cars are your version of God, then Gran Turismo 5, developed exclusively for the PS3, might be the Bible you've been waiting for. The game has been delayed numerous times due to its massive production scale and perfectionist developers, but finally it's here, and I gotta say, for a game that took years and years to develop, it is amazingly mediocre. Now I say it's mediocre from a gaming standpoint. From a realistic racing simulator standpoint, I assume it's spectacular. I can't confirm that because I've never actually raced a car in my life. Unless you count burning out of the movie theater parking lot after seeing The Fast and the Furious.
Let's go for a little ride.
Memories. As I said before, if you like cars and know the ins and outs of how they work and why, you will most likely enjoy this game. Let's get into it, shall we? The main mode in this game is the A-Spec series. This is where you race all sorts of cars from all over the world. You start as a beginner and move your way up the ranks by winning races and upgrading your cars. After each race, you receive money to pimp your ride or buy other vehicles. Aside from the A-Spec series, there are license tests, which is training, special events, which are fun little challenges that include kart racing, NASCAR driving, and my favorite, Volkswagen van racing, and the B-Spec series, which is where you take the position of coach and hire drivers to race for you. Now, if you've never played Gran Turismo before, it goes a little something like this. Drive fast on straightaways and brake hard on turns. This is not Tokyo Drift.
Tires are slick. When you drift, if you ain't out of control, you ain't in control.
If you play this game like most car racing games, you will lose every time. Each car has its own handling as well as its limits. If the car you have can't hack it with the cars you're racing against, just pile on the upgrades until there's no way you will lose. Now here's the problem with this design. Once you soup up your car with drivetrain, suspensions, turbo kits, racing tires, and a whole slew of other car parts I know nothing about, the races are just plain easy. And when a game is easy, it gets boring, fast. Not only that, but even when you do reach peak speeds, there's no real sense of speed. It just feels like you're traveling on the highway as you go to work. Now if you like going ridiculously fast and drifting 500 yards into every turn, I'll just say it, this game is a waste of time. However, if you enjoy the finesse of race car driving and appreciate the soft touch that it requires, this game is very challenging and you'll have a lot of fun with it. But you gotta be patient, because this is a Guitar Hero type game that takes lots of practice to get good at. The good news is, even if the game gets boring, at least there's an excellent multiplayer mode where you can really test your skills against other fake race car drivers all over the world. The online setup for Gran Turismo 5 is excellent, mainly because they don't just drop you into a level and have you burn rubber right away. But they've set up a community, kind of like Facebook, where you have a profile, you can share pictures of your races, and give or trade your cars away that you've earned in the game with friends. I will say the worst part about this game is its menu design. If you want to enter a race that requires a certain car, you can't just go straight to the dealership to buy it. You have to sit through a load screen to get back to the menu, then click the dealership and sit through another load screen, then go back to the menu, load screen, then go to the race menu, load screen, then enter the race, load screen. Any way you cut it, you're going to have to get used to seeing this throughout the game. Sometimes this game looks like the best thing you've ever seen. Reflections on the cars look amazing, some of the levels are gorgeous replicas of actual places, and the cars themselves can easily be confused with real ones. But other times, there are lots of highly pixelated edges, and moments where you feel like you're actually playing it on the PS2. For such a highly anticipated game, you wouldn't expect these inconsistencies. As for sound, I assume the cars all sound like they should. Again, my knowledge of cars is about as vast as Miss South Carolina's knowledge of anything.
I believe that our education, such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. Or should help South Africa.
What? There is a lot of variety in the music, ranging from classical to jazz to rock and pop. Most of the time I found myself tapping my foot to one of the songs, and because there's so many songs, you don't really get tired of hearing the same 10 tracks. Gran Turismo 5 offers numerous hours of gameplay and unlockables. From Honda Civics to Lamborghinis, you can drive just about anything in this game, and it'll handle just like it should. However, I'm pretty sure actual race car driving isn't this boring, and for a game that was delayed numerous times, the graphics could still use an overhaul. For the last time, if you love cars, you won't be able to get enough of this game. If I were to give this game a rating based on its realistic simulator experience, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. But personally, as a gamer, I prefer embellishing reality rather than recreating it, and this game is so realistic that I didn't end up having much fun at all. So, I have to give Gran Turismo 5 a 3 out of 5.